What's up, guys? This is another GAGS Goals update. So for the past several weeks, you kind of saw some of the max effort training that I've been doing. And then kind of those weeks in between, I'm trying to work a lot of raw stuff, a lot of volume. As I get closer to my contest, I'll add in a little bit more equipment more frequently. But at this time right now especially, I'm trying to hold on to a lot of muscle mass. I'm kind of juggling losing fat and trying to gain strength, trying to improve my body fat composition, my body fat percentage. And it's definitely been a struggle. I'm definitely feeling run down this week, so I definitely went a little bit lighter than I had planned, or actually a lot lighter than I had planned today, but a lot of events going on, taking some courses, brushing up my anatomy, going to seminars, events. So things have definitely been hectic. So I'm really trying to focus on prioritizing my recovery, my sleep, and dialing my nutrition even more, because the past week or two especially has been very challenging between, even just taking a course, for example. Even though it's not physically demanding, it's emotionally demanding, it's mentally draining. You're putting a lot of resources and neural drive into learning versus the training itself. So these are things to consider. If you're a family man, if you're kind of juggling, being a parent, or just trying to, you have a business like myself. There's a lot of factors to consider when it comes to recovery. It's one of the reasons why we're a little bit more of an advocate of more of the minimal effective dose versus the maximal recoverable volume. Or that optimal kind of volume. If we can kind of just keep chipping away and just kind of do, sometimes, not to say you want to not work hard, but if you can kind of get away with doing a little bit less, that way you're enhancing recovery that much more, it's going to be more sustainable in the long run. And talking about sustainability and longevity, this was a really cool day for me because I got to train alongside my mom and my dad. My dad had just started training with us. It's his, I believe his third or fourth workout with us at the time of this taping. It took several years for him to get to this point. And my mom's been going pretty strong at the gym for about 2 years or so. And she started out kind of where my dad was. She was struggling with her body weights to a high box. On squats, for example, today she did a 45-pound barbell with 40 pounds of total chain for her top sets today. And she's not perfect, but she's really come a long way. So I wanted to kind of showcase, we literally did the exact same workout. We all did about 8 or 9 sets of squats for 2 to 3 reps. This is kind of like a more dynamic day with some workup sets for our team. And I wanted to kind of showcase this because it really showed some difference in variability and really the scalability of what powerlifting is. And that's what kind of Powerlifting for the People is all about. And if you're not familiar with Powerlifting for the People, that's a book kind of outlining. You can get on Amazon. We'll include links in the description below. It's a great resource for someone that maybe you want to get into strength training, to show the benefits of strength training for all different populations, all different goals. And our podcast and our seminar is called Powerlifting for the People because we really do believe that powerlifting, resistance training, strength training is scalable, and everyone possesses the ability to get stronger. So this past year, especially in January, this really hit home. I did some commentating and I helped out my buddy Mark Bell at his Super Training Classic in Sacramento, California. That was a really great experience, but one of the things I loved even more about the event itself, I really loved the interaction between Mark and his family. Even with the social gatherings that we had, the family was included. Went to spend some time with his brother Chris and his mom and dad and all this stuff, and got to meet some of his cousins who are from the New York area as well. And I really thought it was really cool that he had his family be part of his business, the experience and the things that he were doing. He always talks about being more inclusive versus exclusive. And you want to kind of spread more love than hate and things like that, and just be more positive than negative. And that really hit home with me, and it's been something for the last several months I've been trying to, because you can get a blinders on, whether it be training or your business. You're trying to be so goal-oriented, you're trying to get to that next mountain, and you kind of lose sight of what's important. You kind of maybe lose sight of your family relationships. And admittedly, I'm trying to work on my personal development, be better with people, better with relationships, better with myself. So doing some things more like with yoga, meditation, and kind of looking more within has been helpful, but also just including my family in more stuff. So one of the things that, my dad has both his hips done. He got his hips replaced. He's got a lot of trauma and damage there, very, very weak in the hips. And you can see he's struggling with the box squat with just his body weight. But today he hit a new personal record. He did a 26-pound kettlebell, which may seem like nothing, really insignificant, but from the first week, he could barely do his body weight to a high box. Now he's doing a kettlebell with pretty decent form. Obviously, he could use a little bit less momentum. He could have a little bit more control. We could obviously eventually take the box away. And same thing with my mother. She's doing a free squat with some chains. She tends to fold a little bit over too much. She tends to have her thoracic spine have some faults in there. Sometimes her hips rise a little bit too early. But again, these are not competitive lifters. We're just trying to improve the quality of their life. My mom's bone density has been improved, according to her doctor. The doctor said she has the bone density of an 18-year-old. And I really largely attributed that to the only difference that she changed. She hasn't really changed her diet too much. She hasn't changed other exercise. She just started doing resistance training. And I'm really excited to see what my dad will be doing. So I'm also going to try to chronicle a little bit their journey as well, because we're at all different stages. Obviously, I'm a little bit more on the competitive side, even though it's more, for me, it's more recreationally competitive. I'm not like super competitive, not like a Larry Williams, for example, who's trying to break all-time world records. And then like my mom and my dad are a little bit more focused on health, longevity, quality of life. But you can see the spectrum. We literally all did the exact same workout. We did 6 sets of triples on the squat, and then we did 3 sets of doubles on the squat for our working sets. And then I did some belt squats. My mother did some more kettlebell squats, and I had my dad just do some other assistance work. I kind of stopped. He didn't do any more lower body training because I felt like that volume was enough for the day. And again, he's at a very low point, so his threshold's going to be low, his work capacity is going to be a lot lower, and we'll increase the volume, we'll increase the frequency, and all these other variables over time for what's appropriate to him. When you're thinking about training others, especially for health and longevity, you want to think about what do they have, so what's the range of motion that they have in the joint, and what's their structure going to allow. What do they own, so what neuromuscularly what can they own and what can they control through a range of motion, so they actually need the neuromuscular motor control to kind of actually do that skill. And obviously, is it painful and sort of things, and then what can they tolerate? So like I said before, is it painful? How much volume can they control? Because maybe they can control a certain range of motion and a certain load, but maybe only for a certain amount of volume, a certain amount of frequency. So what do they have? What can they own? What can they tolerate? Those are things to consider, especially when you're focused on health and longevity and just general fitness versus just a performance goal. Sometimes when we're more performance driven, we kind of tend to push the envelope a little bit too much, and we sometimes sacrifice our health for the sake of performance. But regardless if your goal is performance or not, I think that it's always important to have health in mind, because if you have more longevity, if you're in the game longer, you're going to have more success. So this is why I'm kind of sharing my journey with you. I'm going to be sharing my family's journey a little bit. It really means a lot to me that I get to give back to my family and allow them to improve their own fitness and health. And I think it's just something that I hope other people kind of... What's up, buddy? So that's kind of the episode for today. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys enjoyed seeing more of our videos and our content, including some of my family, some of the different levels, you can drop some comments, drop some feedback, shoot me a DM. And make sure you guys check out the links below. Thank you guys so much for watching on my road to 220. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you liked it, please subscribe. We got a lot of more content coming up, and check out the links below. And we'll see you next time. Until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much.
You want to pull up your chair over here?
Yeah, I'm down.
You got to get some caffeine in you?
I'm working on it, getting this tea down,